Obviously need to ask you about Luis Ortiz because his name was sort of bashed about everywhere when there was names for Dillian Whyte's next opponent. It was always seeming that if it's not Chisora, it's going to be Luis Ortiz. What happened with negotiations before that fight?
There wasn't any negotiations. Luis Ortiz had a throwaway comment on Boxing Scene. Oh, I'll fight Dillian Whyte on December 22nd. We were talking, he's another one where I don't think he wants that big fight yet because he thinks he's on the verge of having a world title fight himself, and he's right. So you look on December the 1st, he's going to fight, is it Travis Kaufman or something like that? No disrespect to Travis Kaufman, that's not a risk. He just fought another guy that he knocked him out in 2 rounds. That wasn't a risk either. So in this game, people have got to understand, this isn't a pop at Luis Ortiz or Deontay Wilder, but there's a difference between Instagram and real life, right? And that applies to everything across Instagram and real life, not just boxing. So it's all very well me saying to you, he's like, you know, oh, I'll fight. I'll come out. I'll fight Joshua. I'll fight him. Yeah. I'll give me 100 million. I'll fight him. You know what I mean? So I'm not. It looked like they were banging on the door. They never phoned me once for that fight. You know, it wasn't like, oh, we see you're looking for an opponent. We'd be up for that fight. Can we talk about it? I don't believe they necessarily wouldn't have taken it, but it wasn't. This was the fight that we always wanted to make because. In boxing, in a hardcore sense, I think people love Ortiz Whyte, yeah. But from a casual perspective, from a mass market perspective, this is the fight that Britain wants to see. And I've seen people on social media saying, "No, it's not. It's Ortiz against Whyte." Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I live and breathe this job. I know the market. This does many, many more buyers than Ortiz against Whyte. 2 great fights, but after this first fight and what's on the horizon. This is going to be a monster fight on the 22nd.
In regards to Dillian Whyte, is that carrot dangling for the AJ fight in April if the Wilder fight or the talks don't take place?
That's why I have to take my hat off to him for taking this fight. He could have just sat out and had a 10-rounder in December and see what happens with Wilder Joshua. But he said, no, I want a big fight. Get me a big fight. And if we can't get the Wilder fight, we will have Dillian Whyte signed going into this fight to fight AJ on April 13th if he beats Chisora, which is going to put a whole other heap of pressure on him as well. So the absolute focus for us is Wilder for Joshua on April 13th.
What's going on with talks? Wilder's come out and obviously said that
60-40. Yeah.
60-40. So what's going on with the talks between AJ and Wilder?
Again, you know, I've had my little rant on that fight, which I said, if you think that Wilder really wants this fight, you're deluded and you're thick as well. If he's coming out saying he wants 60-40, but he might accept 50-50 for the fans, there is no one in boxing, not even his own people, who think he should get 50-50 for this fight. So we'll see what the pay-per-view figures number do. I mean, I'm looking at that seat map. They haven't even opened the top tier of that arena. Every seat price is still available. So if they've done 7,000 tickets, I'll be astonished. So we'll see. We'll see what it does on pay-per-view.